Welcome to the Chris Hanna Show. What's up, everyone? It's a brand new year. It's a brand new season of the Chris Hanna Show. We're in season 2. We're going to make this year your best year ever. That's going to be the theme of this episode today. And talking about the year ahead, how do you make sure that this year is as successful as possible for you? You want to make this your best year ever. 2020 was crazy. So much happened, so much activity. How do you recover from what was an exhausting year and move forward? You have to have the right outlook. And that's what we're going to talk about today on the Chris Hanna Show. Now, to begin with, I think it's important to note that there are some questions that you need to ask yourself to really reignite the purpose in your life and in your business or whatever it is that you're passionate about doing. So the first question that you need to ask yourself this year is, what do you really want out of life? It's a tough question for some people to grapple with. What do you want? What makes you happy? How do you decide to do certain activities versus not do certain activities? What do you ultimately want? For some people, all they want out of life is to be successful. They're looking for the hotshot career. They're looking to rise up the corporate ladder. But for other people, maybe success means something different. It might mean being happy. It could be family. It could be the ability to travel, the ability to be financially free. Whatever it is that you define for yourself in terms of the life that you want, that's up to you. You need to go after that yourself and not be living somebody else's life for you. So again, the number one question you need to ask yourself this year is, what do you really want out of life? Number 2, the second most important question to ask yourself in 2021 to be successful is, what do you not want in your life? What doesn't deserve a place in your life anymore? Is there certain items that you need to get rid of? Is there certain people in your life that you need to get rid of that are bringing you down? Far too often we hold on to things in life. And what we don't realize is that sometimes what we hold on to is actually holding us back. There comes a time in our lives where we just need to make a decision and decide not only what we want, but what do we need to get rid of to get what we want. Because the truth is that any sort of success in this world is going to come with some sort of sacrifice. And sometimes what we need to sacrifice is what's holding us back. So what do we not want in our life anymore? When we decide what that is, that's when we can actually leap ahead and have true success. Now, the third question to ponder as you look to reignite your purpose in your business, in your life, and whatever it is that you do in the year ahead, you need to ask yourself this question. What would you be willing to give up to live the life that you want? It's a hard question for some people to grapple with. Because you need to also then take a hard look at yourself and what's going on in your world and figure out, do you need this anymore? Is it time to move on, maybe in your career? Do you need a change of pace, or do you need to change your location? Maybe living in the same city that you have been living in for 10 years, it doesn't work anymore. You need a fresh start. To live the life that you want, you need to know what you want. You need to know what you don't want as well. But ultimately, you need to figure out, what are you going to give up to get that? It's not easy. It's not going to be simple. But the truth is, you need to do it. There are so many times throughout my life that I have thought about these 3 questions, and I've wrestled with them because I know what I want. I know the life that I want to live. And I know the things that I don't want in my life. But sometimes they're a necessary evil that you just have to keep doing certain activities or be in certain roles or associate with certain people because it's a means to an end. But at some point, you need to figure out, when is that end date? When is the time come where you say, enough's enough, it's time to move on. It's time to move on to better things. It's time to move on to a life that you really ultimately want to live and that you actually do feel like you're living in versus just being a passenger. I think it's one of the biggest challenges that a lot of people face right now is that they're just living their life passively, doing whatever they need to get by. And before you know it, getting by is 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years go by and you have some regrets. So ultimately, when you decide what you want to get out of life, it comes down to deciding, do you want to live with regret? And if you're not willing to look ahead and be okay with a certain situation, then that means you have the power to change it. You have the power to do something about it. You ultimately can choose your life. You can choose the direction that you take your career, your family, yourself. You have the power to choose. And that's what makes us so unique as human beings, is that we have the power of choice, of free will. So to really reignite your purpose in the year ahead and to make this your best year ever, you need to ask yourself these questions. You need to think, what do you want out of life? What do you not want in your life? What can go by the wayside? And lastly, what would you be willing to give up to live the life that you want to live? I'd love to hear some of the answers that many of you have as you look to change in the year ahead and grow and evolve your approach and become the best version of you that you possibly can be. So hit me up on social media, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. Let me know your thoughts on this episode. And this will be a running theme throughout season 2 here of the Chris Hanna Show, in that we do want to make this your best year ever. I want to make this my best year ever as well. We're all in this together. We're all in the same boat. 2020 was crazy. 2021, let's make it really strong. Let's make it the year of you. Thanks for listening to this episode of The Chris Hanna Show. As always, the latest episodes are available to listen and subscribe to on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. You can also follow The Chris Hanna Show on LinkedIn, Instagram, or Twitter for more resources and solutions, including blog posts, toolkits, ebooks, speaking sessions, and more. Visit chrishanna.ca today. We look forward to connecting again with you soon for another episode of The Chris Hanna Show.